Hello everyone, it's I, Soul17 here. Let me show this like usual. And this picture, well, I made the thumbnail, but I just don't own the pictures I'm going to show you in the next few minutes. Here's the thing. I'm combining three different worlds together. One is High School DxD. The one is Black Butler. And I know, I spelled the name Sebastian wrong. I know that, so don't worry. It'll be fixed when I actually upload this video. That name will be on there, just so don't worry, guys. But anyways, I'm combining it with another character. Basically, I'm in my, well, right now, I'm in my dad's room because my parents went out and I didn't want to go downstairs, so I wanted to watch the dog in his room. So basically, yeah. That's why you hear two fans on. Not done. Okay. So, what's gonna happen in this what if? I'm not gonna go through no details, no like backstory on how Issei was born and such. Just know this. Issei's mom, cheated on Sebastian. Found her before she did anything too serious to herself. He saved her, and after that they just talked, got to know one another, and then somewhere along the lines, Sebastian actually, after he popped the question, she said yes, but then he said, I feel like I should tell you this. He told her the truth, she was okay, and, well, she knows about devils, angels, fallen angels, and that, she knows everything about it. And also, here's the thing. CL Phantomhide basically left left the company to Sebastian, even giving him the name Sebastian Phantomhide. So, hold on, they're back now. Okay, so as I was saying, I'm back in my room now, but anyways, as I was saying, yes, CL gave Sebastian everything, The thing is, though, CL was 20 years old in this. What happened in the anime was very, very, very different. He was still a human. He became, dying due to, how can I say this? He died to basically being shot. But, 20 years old. Ain't good, but, the lawyer, told Sebastian that all the servants, can stay in the house. Sebastian owns the Phantomhide company, and his name will now be, Sebastian Phantomhide. So, he told Issei's mom, and, well, she was shocked to even hear that technically Sebastian is technically a billionaire of a toy company that branched out to be basically multi-millionaire companies, and still around today. Yes, the Phantomhide toy company has been around for generations in this what if. So, the thing is, Issei's a half human, half demon. Devils are stronger than demons, but only if the contract has particular things that are in motion to make the demons way more stronger. So, well, let us get into the what if. Alright, so basically, I even forgot to mention, the pictures I'm about to show you are actually, I do not own, I just needed them to show you. But this is how Issei looks. The first two pictures are basically, he looks like Lelouch from Code Geass, but he wanted to mimic his father's, hair, so he was trying to let it go long. So basically, imagine Lelouch with long hair, and basically the person who gave me the idea why Issei should look like Lelouch in this series, because he showed me a side-to-side comparison. They look so much similar. I even had to ask another friend of mine. So, basically, if you guys don't like the way how I'm making him look, and if you guys do, okay, But basically, I have 3 pictures from Code Geass I'm about to show you. So, right? Hold on. There's this one. Just imagine him in Sebastian's outfit, you know, and then just imagine him with this type of hairstyle, basically. And basically, he does go out and, people do summon him and such. And what he, and plus, let's just say, as his name as a demon, they call him Zero, and he just wears the mask. Not the whole entire outfit, just the mask. And whatever outfit he has on at the time. But yeah. So basically, he has this as the mask. He has the hairstyle, and he basically looks like this. Just with the butler outfit being different and such. Now imagine that as how he looks like, his actual look. And, what he wears to, hide his identity. Anyways. So yeah, so that's how it is. He basically looks like a Lelouch with long hair, and for his demon work, he basically wears a mask. But if you guys are wondering, how does he, how anyone not recognize his voice or anything? Well, because he's a demon, he does have certain things. So why not make him have illusionary magic? He hides his look, and basically they only see him as Issei with brown hair, looking like the canon Issei, not like Sabastion at all. So let me just double check on Sebastian's name. Everyone knows, as Issei's family as Sabastion Michelis because, Issei's mom and Sebastian don't want Issei to be hounded by people saying, oh, he's rich, maybe he can give me some money, blah blah blah, all that. He wants to have a normal life. They want to have that too. So yeah, but anyways, let's just get to where it starts. Well, yeah. So anyways, so where we're starting off is when Issei is being summoned by a red hair girl with someone else with a black ponytail, a girl with white hair, and another boy with blonde hair though. As when he's summoned, that's all he sees. And so he just asks, who summoned me to this fine place? And the girl with the red hair and red eyes comes forward and says, my name is Rias Gremory. I'm from the Gremory family. I heard a lot about you, Zero. You've never taken anyone's offer, or has never made a deal with anyone because they never can give you anything. But I believe I can. As Issei is looking at her, and he just says, alright. And she basically talks about how she can make him part of his Parage, and even though, he'll become more than one for pawns. Basically, she'll use all her pawns on him, like, she would have used in canon and such, and that he basically can, be free, not freely, but, do whatever she asks, basically, also still has his own free will, blah, blah, blah. But it's just, Issei doesn't like the look in her eye. He can tell that she's lying. He won't really have much free will if he became a devil. He's already a demon. A half-human, half-demon. Even though technically Nephilims are stronger than most demons, but they're not stronger than devils. He doesn't like this offer because of one reason. She's not telling him something. So, basically, he just looks at her and just scoffs. Which, she's like, what? Just shocked. And he was like, I will never be a part of your Parage or take your offer. You can't give me what I want. And besides, as he basically turns around, says, I'll never be working with someone that is only after power. Nothing else. And, he walks into the shadows, disappearing. And nobody understands. No one can actually understand what just happened or believe it. Rias knows, every demon knows who her family is. So how can someone like him say no. So we're skipping to the next day. Issei just got ready for school and such, and it's the day before the weekend, and he's happy about that because he doesn't want to deal with anyone. He looks like Issei from Canon because he's using illusionary magic to hide his look, even his voice. But he's not friends with the same people in Canon. He's more of a, how can I say this? He has people he talks to, but just he's alone, sort of way. So, when he gets down, he says this. He says, "Morning, Mom. Morning, Dad. So, what's going to be happening today?" Issei's mom says good morning, and Sebastian says morning. They both, well, actually, Sebastian says, "Me and your mother aren't doing anything." Sebastian has changed his form, not his voice, not his look. So, yeah, but anyways, demons, never mind, but whatever. So, yeah, Sebastian just tells him that nothing's gonna be happening with them. They're just maybe going to the mall, look at some stuff, going to the library, get a few books, maybe. The norm. And he nods. He goes like, so, as he sits down right across from Sebastian, he goes, so, Dad, why do I have a feeling that, as it basically gets all serious and his eyes are red, he goes like, you want to tell me something? As Sebastian does nod, he goes, yes, actually. I need you to, well, do something for me. It's a friend of mine that needs, well, a new butler. You see, they don't have they don't have a butler or enough staff to be there. And he knew I was a butler. I refused because you need the opportunity. We already know everything how it is to be a butler, and that you also know, well, everything that you need to know. So, why not, go over there tomorrow and try to make well, not a deal, but try to get the job. In which Issei just chuckles and just says, so, you want me to make a contract? The one where I'll take something most dear to them or value? Or just the one I take where I work for them with no contract in need, but we just say it's a contract just to bend the rules a little. As Sebastian does nod about that, he goes, either one's fine with me. Issei. Which, he does nod. And so, Issei, Issei's mom brings over his breakfast along with Sebastian, and she sits right next to Sebastian's too. Sebastian does cook, don't worry guys, he does help out. He also does business from home too, so. But anyways, so, hold on. Come on, fan. So basically, what happens is that Sebastian just tells him that I'll give you the address. You have to go visit them tomorrow since it's a weekend. And you do know you'll be living there from now on, right? And Issei nods. He goes, yes, Father, I know. I know I'll be living there to be with my boss, or as you will say, sir or mistress. Basically. So, do I have to get out my old butler outfit that you made for me so long ago, or do I have to get it retailored to my size? Which Sebastian does chuckle, because he goes, who says I never did get it retailored for you? Which Issei just face palms himself. He was like, of course you were. And he was like, I am just one hell of a father, aren't I? Which, he's like, I have a feeling I'm going to be copying your phrasing sometimes. Which he does nod. So, after he eats, he says goodbye to his parents, and just goes to school. Nothing really happens. really. Just nothing. So we go to the day where he arrived at the mansion. This, this luxurious mansion that's very big and very fancy to him. Because he just lives in a normal house and he just wants to have a normal life. But still, anyways. But he came with the mask on in a butler outfit because, well, he has to look the part. He wants to just look the part and such because he doesn't know if he's gonna stay there or not. So he'd rather just be making sure and have it on. So, what happens is this. When he arrives, he sees a man waiting for him. And he walks, basically, he's walking up to this man, and he says, "Good evening, sir. I am the butler that Sebastian Michelis said, that you'll meet." And the man nods, and he goes like, "Issei, I know your father very well, and he's already told me everything about you. You do not need to bow to me. Besides, you could say we're practically family." And then he says, "To be fair, I never met you, so..." And then the man laughs. He goes, of course you haven't, but still, I'm friends with your father. So, we've been friends for quite a while, so to me, you're like a nephew. Since I never had a brother, and I kind of seen your father as a brother." Which he's thinking to himself, well then, Dad has a lot to tell me. Stories about how they met, and how they acted. So anyways, he says, "Follow me. I'll bring you to a room where you're supposed to meet who you're going to be serving under. Or, should I say, being the butler, too." And he does apologize for the phrasing. He goes, "It's not a problem at all. I will be serving her, basically, so I guess you could say that." Which, he nods. So, when he gets to the room, it says library. He goes, "This is the library, huh?" And, the man nods. He goes, "Yes. This is where my daughter is at this moment. We'll have much to discuss about some things out for dinner. So please, take your time and get to know her before then. It is only 2:00. Which Issei nods. So, what I just made. So I'm gonna look at this one real quick. Alright. So I just wanna make sure I had it right in my head, but anyways. So, as when Issei opens the door, may I add, he's wearing a mask, and he actually is an actual look, not just using illusionary magic to hide how he looks, and his voice. Basically, what this crimson hair, crimson eyed girl looks to see is a boy with a butler outfit with a mask on. In her mind, she just says, what's the meaning of this? Why is this happening? And, well, after the door is closed, what she's saying, the boy basically bows to her and says, "Good evening, miss. I am Issei Michelis. I am the new butler, if you so choose for me to be at your assistance. I am not hired yet, but your father wanted me to meet you. And, well, how can I say this to you without being rude?" Which the crimson hair and eye girl looks at him with a curious look. He says, "The only way I ever, am accepted into a job of being a butler is through a contract. And it doesn't have to be verbal, it doesn't have to be written, but verbal. I prefer it that way." Which she does ask the question, why verbal? Why not just have it written down? It was like, there's reasons why for this. So, I need you to understand, when I say this, I do not mean any offense. It's just my conditions I have with working that need to be fulfilled before I could accept the job. Which she sighs and goes like, "Alright, let me hear it." He goes, "Alright. What can you offer me? Um, may I ask for your name, miss?" She goes, Stella Vermilion. "And what can I offer you?" Which she does look at him. Even though she can't see his face or eyes, she can tell there's a mysterious aura about him, even if, she find out about his name was fake or not. There still be so much mystery to him. So she's thinking he already has everything, and he just, wants to see what she can, give him. And depending on her answer, he'll work for her. And she does have a flashback to her father talking to her about this. He does say, "Stella, when this boy comes to be your butler, you have to tell him the truth. You can't just give him some wild imagination that anyone would take." But she asks, "Can I have an example, father?" And he says, "You can't just say you'll give him a car, the most luxurious car ever, and he, he'll say no to that," which shocks her. And she's like, "But why?" She just, she doesn't understand this. Her father just says, "There is no understanding with him. That is all. He does what he pleases. He chooses who he works for, and he will not work for anyone he dislikes. So, I must applaud you to try to get him on your side," which she does not. She says she'll try. She did think about it because, well, she knew the question was coming, and being asked, well, going to be asked and such. So she tried to think of everything she could, but she couldn't. So what she just says is, "I can't give you anything, and the only thing I can give you is freedom. Freedom to do what you want, choose what you want to do, and not have to serve under me, to get anything I want, to give, when I say go make me this, you can choose not to. You can say yes or no to it, and just do what you want. That's all I can give you." And, well, what she doesn't know is, you say surprise. So he does ask, "So, you can just give me a normal life, huh?" Basically a butler, to be given a normal life, to choose his own, well, duties and not. She nods. She goes, "That sounds ridiculous and stupid, I know, but that's all I can give you." Which, all of a sudden, she just sees him lifting up to his mask, pressing a button, as then it just opens, she just sees like it moving, and then he basically takes off the mask, and what she sees is, he looks like Lelouch, like I said, with long hair, so her face just gets a little bit red, because she did not expect him to look like that, and he goes, "Then it's a deal then, Stella Vermilion. I shall do anything you want as, anything that you want from me as of today, Mistress Vermilion." In which she just says, "Don't bow, please. It's a, it's a pleasure to have you working with me. You say, my Michaelis." She goes, "You say Michaelis. Can you help me put these books back?" And he goes, "Not at all. Please allow me to do, the work. You just sit down and, well, enjoy the rest of your tea." In which she wants to protest, but he says, "I insist." And so Issei goes and just, just puts away all the books. It did take a while, but after that, after he gets it done, put the last book on the shelf, Stella's father walks in. She goes, "Ah, Issei, you're still here." He goes, "Yes, I'll be working here. I assume my father already brought everything I had back home." He does not. He was like, "Alright. Can you show me to my room, please, so I get more acquainted, with it?" Which he does say, "Of course. Come this way." So before, Issei leaves the room and such, he looks back at Stella and says, I'll return as soon as possible, and we can discuss what's gonna happen for, well, tomorrow, since it is a school day. She does not. And so, Issei goes to his, sees his room. It's in the middle. It's not bad, but it's not too fancy. And he does ask, um, why is it so. He goes, well, he must not sound rude or anything, but still his father just says, was it so, well, in between fancy and not fancy? He goes, yes. He was like, well, you see, we like to treat our, well, maids, butlers, cooks, if they live here, fair, actually. We don't like to, they say, oh, we, give any of our friends the more fancier rooms, and then basically the servants or butlers or whatever get the more, well, he says, can I speak freely? He goes like, sure. He goes, crappy. He goes, yes. We like to be fair. It's like, alright. Anyways, should I stay? Well, since I'm still on the clock as of today, I shall be in my butler outfit for the remainder of the day. Oh, and, is Stella going to my school, basically? In which he does not. He goes, yes, the principal has already been informed about your situation and what my daughter and your relationship is. So, the principal is fine with it. He does not. He does say thank you. Now then, I shall return to Stella and discuss about the arrangements of the school and what's to be expected from her as of there. Which he says, thank you, Issei, for this. Well, I'll tell you the reason why I asked your father if he could. He goes, I know, could come work, but he refused. He goes, yes. So basically, when Issei goes back to the library, Stella's still there, and he comes in and talks to her about his school, what's there or not, what's the type of people there or such, and that they may be in the same classroom or not. He says he'll be there no matter, what. If she needs him, just call his name and he'll try to get there as soon as possible. He promises. And she nods. And so, after that, they do keep on talking because Stella's curious about him. He gives her only what information he wants to tell her. And then, well, it's dinner time. Issei walks into the dining room. He sees this this good-sized table, able to fit at least 10 people there. And just, he got to walk into the kitchen and such, but in actuality, Stella's mother tells tells him to come sit down. There's some stuff we need to discuss with you beforehand. Which, he's like, dinner second, talk first, correct? They nod. So, he comes over, sits down at the table, which you guys are wondering why they not help Stella sit, because Stella's right next to her, right in between her parents. They're sitting in two seats. Basically. She's right behind them. Well, technically in the middle, right behind them, basically. Anyways, so, they say, well, actually, Stella's father says, so, he said, do you wonder why I asked your father to, come over here to be a butler? He goes, he asked me for the favor, but I assumed that was the reason why he asked me to do it. He goes, yes, it is. You see, your father, well, I trusted him with this knowledge, but he did say you wouldn't have said yes to her, so I didn't want to say this until you, agreed. When she says, alright, please continue, sir. He said, alright, my daughter here is no ordinary person. I mean, we're rich, but she's not an ordinary rich, normal girl. And which Issei does admit, he says, well, actually, in his head he says, the magic that she has in her isn't normal. It's too much. She's a devil. Demons have little or minimum the medium size of magic. This one's the size of a devil. So, you know, he just keeping this cool. He says, "What do you mean, sir?" So Stella's mom then says, "You see, my daughter here is a princess. I'm a queen, and my husband's a queen. I mean, a king. Yeah, sorry, you know, messed up in my head, but yeah." Which he does get curious. He goes, "Really?" He goes, "Yes. We're well, we're from a kingdom of a small country, basically, and well, we thought it'd be better off if our daughter left it and met some new people, and not be there where everyone expected her to be not herself." And some stuff happened, so we wanted someone to be her butler, bodyguard, many different things all in one, even her friend if needed. And you say not. He doesn't feel like they're lying, but doesn't feel like this whole entire truth either. He goes, "So I am assuming that my father knows, well, about wings." And then basically makes horns on his head, which, well, both of the parents nod. And he goes, "You see, our daughter and us, well, are devils, basically. And that's all I can tell you for right now. You, there's more to the story than I can say, but I do not know you well enough to trust you all the way." Which Issei thinks that is, I mean, he's hired him enough. He trusts him this much just to hire, even if it's, his dad. His dad, said no, but he said he knew someone, and that was me. So, he has to trust them back, and can't persist on asking. He goes like, he just says, "Devils. I never served under a devil before, but I'll try my hardest. So please," as he gets up, he says, "allow me to make a meal for everyone." So, as Issei goes into where the kitchen is, he helps out with the cooks, cooking the meals and such, adding his own twist to it. And what he comes out with is a magnificent, basically a dish for everyone that's so, well, how can I say this? So grand that it looks just like it came out of a movie or basically a magazine. As the taste was so, well, so good and such, like they legit there was like 8 seconds of this. And he chuckles. He says, "I figured this may happen," so basically he made seconds already. Which they thank him and such, and well, after that, he basically helps out in the kitchen, clean up and such. Making sure everything's neat and tidy. And well, that's all he can do, as of today, because his main job is to protect her, to protect Stella, be a butler, a friend if needed, be many things at once, and yeah, that's all he can do. So, basically, he says goodnight to everyone, and that tomorrow we have a long date. He says that to Stella, which she nods. So, after, that, we're just gonna, when he gets to his room, he calls up his father. He talks normally, in his normal, tone, not in his butler / well, I guess you say England, accent. I mean, I don't do a good impression of it, so I didn't want to try. But anyways, just know that it's just supposed to be a butler voice I was trying to make. Anyways, so he calls up his dad. He goes, "Why you didn't tell me they were devils?" Which Sebastian just says to himself. So he didn't tell him about Stella's mother. Figured. He never really trusts many people at first. And he has to be cautious because, well, Stella's being hunted down. Which then Sebastian just says, To be fair, if I told you, would you have even taken the job in the first place? Which Issei is silent. He goes, I'm gonna have to be in my normal appearance at school. And we all know how that's gonna turn out, right? Which he goes, yes. Uh, just probably in a couple of hours, there'll be a fangirl club for you. You know, girls make a fan club just because of you. He's just sizing like, yeah, that's gonna happen. I know it. They kind of joke about this because, well, they don't. Well, Issa just be like, he has watched anime. It's just like that does. He's just one make a joke about it. It was like, okay, enough of the joking about anime protagonists having that problem. But anyways, so is there anything more you need to know about this family? Which Sebastian just says, in due time they'll tell you. Be ready and be open-minded, alright? Son, he goes, I will, Dad. Just be nice and have more information. What are her enemies like anyways that want her dead? Which Sebastian just says, they are very powerful, but you are a breed of human and demon. You are stronger than most people. Heck, even most, well, demons, in fact. You're still growing in power, but a contract is where you're able to fully awaken your powers. The stronger the contract is, and the stronger what you want to do, basically, because of that contract, will give you that strength that you need. Remember that, son. He nods. Goes, and by the way, I only took, the one where I didn't make it, where she has that, how can I say this, contract in her eye. Which, he does. Chuckling, was like, so, you just made one where it's just one between you two that there's no, well, taking something away from her. She just lets you do what you want, and that's fine with you. Which he nods. He goes, alright. Anyways, you should get some sleep. You have a long day tomorrow. He says, okay. So, basically what happens is, it's kind of when we start, the day in the anime of High School DxD. You see, what happens is this, they're basically Issei wakes up, makes breakfast for him and Stella, and, well, technically, he brings, the breakfast to Stella. He's about to knock on the door, well, because he just was gonna give it, because he figures, better off there's a desk in there that she, and then, she just everything, then we can just get going. So, that's what he thought, but right before he opened the door, knock on the door, Stella opens it, and she's surprised to see that Issei is there. She was, Issei! He was like, yes, mistress. I was about to knock on the door to ask if I can come in to, well, deliver your breakfast to you. She does ask, why not in the dining room? He goes, well, you see, I think we should leave a little bit early today so we can, well, give you a tour of the school. So, I got up early and I didn't expect you to be up this early. She does say she's kind of used to it because of her training. He goes, with your magic? She goes, yes, but also my sword skills. He was like, oh, well then, I'd like to see that someday. She goes, really? He does say yes. So, anyways, as they basically go back to the dining room when Issei was carrying the food and, lays it out for her, she does ask, did you eat? He goes, I already ate. I figured a light breakfast for me. I don't really need to eat much, so do not worry about me. Which she says, okay. He does say that he'll prepare their lunch, so that's where he goes back into the kitchen and just starts making them a lunch. Kind of just bento box, basically. So, you can just imagine whenever, you wanted them, just, yeah. But anyways, So, after he's done with that, he comes out and sees Stella's all done, and just waiting for him. He says he'll, well, basically take these and he'll be right back, and which he does. She does ask him, though, why are you wearing a butler outfit to school? He's like, well, I am yours. She goes, no. Go change. You're not being a butler. You can wear the gloves, just not be in your butler outfit, in the uniform. He does chuckle at this. He goes, yes, mistress, as you wish. And he does, go and puts on the school uniform, in which she basically doesn't understand why, but she feels like if, she doesn't say nothing, she's made faint. She goes, I didn't suspect that. But anyways, let's get going. And he basically like, wait, what? He goes, nothing. And he thinks to himself, did she just say she didn't expect that? Whatever. So, when, they go outside, they see a car already waiting for them. Yes, it's just a normal car, basically. Don't worry. Wait. So they see a car and such. They get in, and Stella just asks, so, do you want to know anything about me? He goes, well, first off, if you're comfortable with this, mistress, may I ask, what was one of the reasons why you came here from the underworld? So she just secondly says, it's to do with, you could say, a problem came to me. It ruined my life. I was going to be happy, but they decided to be selfish. All I can think of is a jealous boyfriend? Or ex? I can't assume anything yet. I need to know more before that. So, Issei says, oh, my apologies for asking any questions that were, bring up any bad memories and hurtful for you. She does not say, no, it's just one, so it's okay. But, I just don't want to talk about it. He goes, yes. Anyways, we should go to the principal's office and, get the, class sheet. She does nod, but she does ask, why do I have a feeling it's gonna be a long day because of you? He was like, oh yes, I used my magic to hide my presence. Your father informed you about my father, correct? She does nod. She did say that the person, that was coming over my father said was a demon named Zero. One that never accepted any contracts. Because they never gave him anything that he specifically wanted. And he does nod. He goes, well, as you can see, I was Zero. But since I accepted the contract, that identity will never be used again. Until our end of our contract with you. She does nod. She does then ask, so, what did you look like when you used your illusionary magic? And basically he just shows her what he looks like. She just says, so what? You just look, I don't know, less like a model? Which he does blush and that, he goes, model? I assure you, I do not look like one. She does go, look at me like, no offense. I have a feeling there's gonna be a fangirl club of you. He goes, please don't say that. I already joked about that. Don't want this to come true. She goes, huh? He goes, I made a joke with my father about that. About me, anime protagonist and that happening. I don't want it to become true. And he has, something like this one weird moment that still is not, what the freak? He goes, my apologies, just my true personality came through. She just says, oh, so this is just she just says, this is my business. Well, what I do when I work. So, it's kind of like my true personality, but only with work only, I assure you. She does nod. And she goes, alright, that's understandable. So, when they get to the school, just like Issa thought, even along with Stella, a lot of people are staring. And a lot of girls are blushing because of how Issa looks. Like I said, he looks like Lelouch, both with his long hair. And so she just says, can you lead the way for me? He's like, of course. Come this way, mistress. As they walking over to the principal's office. And well, basically, they freaking think that they knew about the one new student, but they said there's another new student, probably last minute one. Girls were taking pictures, and that kind of spread like wildfire. And well, they do get the class sheets, and let's just say they're all similar to Issei's. So I'm not gonna give a list, but anyways. So basically, after that, they do go to the homeroom. The teacher was waiting for them, and he does ask Stella to stay out here. And he looks at Issei, which they kind of knew. They already knew that Issei looked changed. Let's just say, school and Sebastian don't have no connections, but he has helped out pretty much in the community. Just being there, helping out. And so, what happens? Since I know who he is, he walks in, just normally, going to his seat. Everyone's confused. All the girls are shocked at the new boys in their classroom. They start to try to ask him multiple questions. Some even ask for his number. Everyone just tries just to get them to say hi to him, or just him say hi back. It's just that sort of thing. The teacher just tells everyone to settle down, and get away from him. Go back to your seat, ladies. And they listen. So basically, he says, "All right. So you all heard we have a new student coming to this class at this school. So please, allow her to come in to introduce herself." And so when Stella comes in, she does write her name, Stella Vermilion, and well, she is basically glad to meet everyone and hope we can get to know each other better. Trying to think now. Yeah, I can still go on for after an hour. Yeah. Alright, so just to let you know, I am only gonna go up to the part with. How can I say this? I'm only gonna go up to the part with what they mean with Asia. Alright, hope you guys all understand that. But anyways. So, what happens is this, after class starts, everyone, wants to get to know Stella and such. The teacher starts calling names, and when they say Issei, Michelis, no one knows where Issei is. One of the people says, well, one of them about to say he's not he, as in all they hear is here. As they look, and you see it's Issei, in which everyone is shocked. The girls are like, no, wait. And if you guys are wondering where Stella's sitting, in front of Issei. You know why? Reasons. Anyways. So, basically after that, we will go to lunch. As then basically, Issei brings out the bento box, gives it her and asks does she want him to eat with her or go somewhere else. She just says eat with him, eat with her. She feels more comfortable, and he nods. And so while they're eating, someone comes up to her. Another, red hair, red eyes girl that basically says, "Hello, Stella. It's been a while." And she goes, "Yes, Rias, it has. How are you doing?" She goes, "Good. You?" "I'm doing fine. Have you met my new butler?" He goes, as Issei stands up, he goes, "Hello there. I am Issei Michelis. It's a pleasure to meet you." Which Rias is shocked by because they say she, Saw was never this, attracted to her. So she does look up and down and she goes, "So, are you part of a barrage yet?" And he says, "No, I'm not. And I don't think she wants to even have one at the moment. So it doesn't even matter." In which she just says, "How about you, well, work for me and also work for her? Be a part of my barrage." And Issa just looks at Rias like, "Really?" sort of face. He then sighs and tells her that he's not interested. And besides, he does say, "Besides, I already rejected you offer already once. Why would I accept it anymore?" Where she's like, "Wait, reject my offer?" He goes, "You don't remember me." But, well, you don't remember because I hid my face, so it does not matter. She just tries to remember, then she remembers, that Zero was the only one that rejected her offer. In which she's surprised when she says, You're Zero." Because, well, at least you still have, your intelligence are not too exaggerated. "Come on, mistress, let's get going." And she nods and they go somewhere else to eat. Rias is shocked, surprised, and all over confused. So, I would say while they're on the way eating, a particular, girl basically comes over and asks Issei if she can go on a date with him. Say, I think tomorrow, since tomorrow's a holiday. He does look at, Stella. She goes, "No, go ahead. I'm not gonna stop you." He goes, "Thank you, mistress." He goes, "Yes, I'd like to join you on a date. What time should I pick you up, or where we meet?" She just says at this random place and this time. He says, "Alright, meet you there." And then after that, she runs off happily. I don't know her name, her in her uniform, but we all know who it is, but yeah. So basically, they eat, everything goes the same. They get back home, they do schoolwork, they have a little snack, drink. An hour or two later, dinner. And then, him just basically doing everything he can, even reading a book, just waiting for her to ask him to do something because he's taking his job a little bit serious. So, anyways, the next day, Stella sees Issei in normal clothing. He looks way more relaxed and less stressed. Well, less, stressed out or something. She doesn't really know. And he just says, "Well, goodbye, Stella. I shall be back whenever. Don't wait up." And she does not. So, basically, what happens with this girl and Issei, same thing happened in canon. I just don't remember her human name. But I think it was Renair, human name, this guy's name. So let's just say it's just Renair because I'm not going to remember. And Renair do exactly the same things in canon. But he's not perverted at all. He's respectful. He's kind. So yeah. But anyways. After, everything, they get back to the park. And, everything would go the same. Revealing herself, telling who he is, until she says he dies. But meanwhile, Stella's out shopping nearby by herself, and she would have sensed something's happening, and rushing over to that presence, but, as quickly as she can, but by the time she gets there, it'll be too late anyway, so does that matter? So as Issei basically chuckles, and he goes, fallen angels, no matter how much you try to get rid of that stench, I will always seem to remember it. So, how about we just get this over with then? I have work to do. And when Rhaenyra just says, "It doesn't matter, you're going to die!" As basically she summons out a light spear with her left hand, and all of a sudden, Issa's right behind her, holding her left arm in his hands, and where she screams out in pain. He just says, "I'm sorry. Does that hurt? I made it as quickly as possible, so I guess it's just the after pain." As blood is on his hands, he licks it off and says, "This is gonna be quite fun." So, what happens is that Issei summons out 2 daggers that have a dragon design to them. And, well, she's kind of shocked by this, and he says, "Let's dance." In which it's a battle between, well, spear versus daggers. Because she only has one hand arm to use, she's basically being outmatched until Issei's about to deliver the final blow to her, and she uses light magic to basically create a flash to escape. In which, Stella saw his fight and was shocked by this. He sighs and has the daggers disappear, and he says, "Mistress, it's not polite to stare. So, shall we get back home and tell you more what I can do?" She does nod. And so, on the way, when they get back home, he tells her what he's better in. He can use almost any type of weapons, but he prefers mostly knives or daggers. Just like his father, he uses knives. Throwing knives, to be precise, or just knives in general. He prefers daggers to always have on him. But he can use swords or bows and such. But she does not. So, I would say a couple of days pass, and everything will go the same. Even, this. So we just go to the day where, basically they're leaving school, they're just walking home and such. As, they stop by a park, a certain place in the city, and just look at it, just admiring it. Still, it's just saying, "Wow, everything here is always so pretty." And he does nod in agreement and says, "The flowers here are always nice always nice during this time of year." And they see a girl in an outfit basically looking like a nun, as, he's just kind of thinking, what's she doing here? Even, and Stella just goes like, "Hello?" In which the girl freaks out and, does fall on her head, basically falls on her head and stuff. And Stella asks if you're okay and such, and she goes, I'm fine. And she sees Issei and Stella, basically, she goes, "Sorry if I, was intruding you on anything," this girl says. And she goes, No, you're not. We just want to know, what are you doing here?" She goes, "Just to see this place and the flowers." Just relax. As Issei nods, he was like, "So, do you want us to help you with anything? We're going to be staying here for a little bit, so..." She goes, No, I'm fine." In which Stella kind of feels like there's something wrong with her, so she wants to figure this out. She asks this girl what's her name. She tells her name is Asia. So she says, "Well, Asia, how about this? I'm gonna get to know you better, and, well, how about you come with us and hang out?" Which Asia says, "No, I can't, it's fine." Asia goes, "No, come on, please." As Stella's giving her this look of pleading eyes, and she says, "Fine." Asia says, "Fine," so they hang out. And there's something, like I said, off that Stella has a feeling of. While Issei just be on the lookout while they're having fun along with him. So, will he meet the priest? Yes, he will. As basically, what happens is that when the priest shows up, Issei immediately just feels this, his sins on him, and just grabs him by the neck, immediately shocking Azia, and he already knows he's a danger, so he opens up his jacket and he sees this gun. He goes, a priest that has a gun, huh? How amusing. So, let's see what happens when I do this. As all of a sudden, boom, there's a little flame flickers on the man's body, covering him, not killing him, but just enough just to be a quick burst. He has very much burns. As he goes, your stench of sin sicken me. You're evil. In which then Stella just asks Azia, how do you know him? And she explains that, she lives at this church and such, and, he's gonna be taking her back, and Stella says, no, you're coming with us. Yes, this would have been the day where the, raid would have happened, or the day before, but making that night will happen where they would just try to get her back. So, basically, they get back home, Stella explains to her parents, as, Stella's father asks to look at the man, as Issa describes him, as he says, well, that's a good thing you took her. We just got word that fallen angels were planning to steal something from her, but we don't know what. As she was like, wait, you mean this? As, she has, shows her, basically, I guess, rings? They ask, wait, what? As she just says they call it a sacred gear. Twilight healing, in which, well, Stella and, her father, even Issa is kind of shocked, and so they give her room and such. Issa tells her what time is ready for dinner, and if, basically she needs help or anything, just call him. So yeah, so basically she comes over for dinner. He got her, he basically escorted her to dinner, to the dining room and such, and then back to her room so she can take a nap and everything. And then during that night, the fallen angels come. And let's just say this. What happens is, the place is getting attacked by some light arrows, as in, while Issei walks out, he had just candles. As I see when he walks out of the door, they just see him holding something metal with a candle in it, candle holder. He goes, Greeting, welcome to the Vermilion household. How should I help you? And one of them says, give us back the girl. And he goes like, oh, our guest. Do you even know her name, by the way? He goes, give us back the human or we'll kill you. As then he goes, oh, kill me, how? And such Rhaenyra says, we got you outnumbered. I was like, oh, you. So this is where you are. Oh, well. You're all gonna die here anyways. So, here's the thing. Azia was up, with Stella. Because it was like, Issei just wanted to be nearby someone, so he thought Stella would be the perfect, idea if he's too busy. So, what happens is, he basically puts down, the candle holder, brings out his daggers, and just says, this is going to be interesting for me, so let's get rid of this quickly. As well, if you guys don't notice, Stella's room is near, when you look at the window, you can see it's in the front. You see the road and everything, so, yeah, they kind of see what Issei's doing. He's basically moving faster than what they can see. He's basically killing them one by one. Eventually, Rhaenyra will be the last one only left. He basically slashes someone's wings off, piercing them the neck with the other knife, with the other dagger. Then basically from the other one moving so quick. Basically, it went right through the guys. Issei, blitzes past him, grabs the knife that was stuck in the wall, proceeds then to hit someone else. As then, when it's Rhaenyra's turn, she's begging for mercy, and, well, he doesn't have none, he says, in which he kills her. So, what happens next is, issie then cleans up, and, well, burns the bodies all in one, and then he just snaps his fingers as fire appears around the body. So, Stella and Asia would have walked down, and Stella says, "That was quite a performance." He goes, "Of course. I have to be. I made a contract to, well, serve under you. With my freedom, of course, so that's fine." And she does not, so. Anyways. Asia just goes like, "You're a butler, so how are you?" He goes, "Quite simply, Asia, I am merely one hell of a butler." Which, Stella kind of chuckles at this, and Asia is just confused. So, this is where, I would leave it off, but issie basically brings back Stella and Asia to their rooms, and then he goes back to his, and he says, "Just another day, a whole bunch of problems. When's the world never gonna give me any problems?" So after that, he just drifting off to sleep. And now this is where we ended off. I hope you guys enjoyed this what if. This was asked by someone to make this what if that was not a reincarnation. So, yeah, here you go. Anyways, bye everyone. Have a nice day, night, wherever you are. Bye.